Hello everyone, it's Maui Horoscope here with your September new moon reading. Right here we have the sun and the new moon here at 11 degrees Leo. This is Sidereal Astrology, and it is with Mars and Venus. And so Mars and Venus are combust with the sun, and Mercury is here at 7 degrees going direct, coming up with the new moon. So this month, folks, is a lot about our egos, our frustration, our direction of energy, our pride, our willingness to do the hard work. Leo is a fixed sign. You need to persevere with the idea that you get from Aries. Uranus and Aries here, trining the new moon. Over here, trining Sagittarius, Saturn and Sagittarius, loosely. Well, Venus is trining it now. So there's a grand fire trine, all this fire on the planet, all this fire in our lives, the refugees, the Hong Kong protests. Here we go. Fierce determination. Regulus. This is a lot of fixed energy and a lot of combustion here, so it's a lot of frustration. But you've got the, in Hawaii, you've got the TMT, the big telescope. In Hong Kong, you have mainland China taking people out of Hong Kong to prosecute them for living. You have problems in the UK with the suspension of Parliament. Here we go, the ego doing its egotistic things. How are we doing that in our lives? Are we listening? Are we completing our tasks? The nodes here, 21 degrees Gemini, South Node 21 degrees Sagittarius. So Saturn and the South Node are almost exactly conjunct right now. So a feeling of a lot of spinning our wheels. In this new moon chart, it puts it in the 6th house. So it's like kind of spinning our wheels. Our health is not as great as it could be. Frustration, loss with men. And, you know, here we go. The fascist male dictator that is arising throughout the world. The acceptance and allowing of the fascist greed to plunder our planet. Here it is, Pluto, South Node, Saturn. Where is everybody? Where's the revolution? It's not happening. People are just too wrapped up in their own social media, their own egotistic life, and they're not seeing the group. See, the group is the 11th house, Taurus. There's Jupiter. Jupiter is going direct now at the end of Scorpio, and it will hit the gandant area, which is between Scorpio and Sagittarius, where water meets fire, creates steam when that happens. So here we see it going from the 5th house to the 6th house for this new moon, for this month in the United States at this time of this new moon chart. You know, it's just going to be a lot of work. I see a lot of work and a lot of bloated Jupiter in the 6th house of health, a lot of bloat. A lot of fires. You see Jupiter going into the Sagittarius. A lot of fires. Fire time is still not done. There's actually so much going on here, but here, you know, the creativity, the medical possibilities, the focus on making money. There's so much focus on making money here. All the stuff in the 2nd house. But it's Mars is combust. There's a lot of frustration. You know, we're all trying to figure out what's happening with the economies. There's just so many people on the planet now. We like have to wake up. Here's the axis. And it's going to be going like this. This is the new moon chart. So with this new moon, I see a lot of be careful of your egotistical energy and emotions and narcissism and making choices based on your own personal gratification and control and feeling superior to others, and use your will and your judgment and your energy and your power in a way to bring happiness and gratitude to everybody. Instead of bowing down like, oh, I'm the tough guy, I'm the chick that can, I'm better than them because I'm 25 and they're 60, whatever, they're old. Here's all this egotistical energy. We need to really open up our hearts. Regulus, Leo, the heart of the lion. We need to have the heart of the lion for problem solving, for plastics and diseases and the melting that's occurring on the planet. So I have some, and then of course with this Jupiter going forward in the Gandant, be ready by the end of September. Let's see, by the end of September, it's going to be a lot hotter. So we need to be careful of Saturn, how we don't take care of ourselves. We need to be our best father and grandfather. Saturn on the south node with Pluto there, it's how can we be the best guiding, supportive, secure energy for ourselves, not fall into fear and denial and power tripping. But this whole fascist dictator thing, everybody should be watching Schindler's List and things like that. We need to remember, well, it's happening right now. How come there aren't protests all throughout the country for people being held in cages? Unless you're Native American, everybody's an immigrant here, so we need to wake up to our own vulnerability. There's a lot of denial here about that. Okay, now moving on. Let's see, which chart is this? This is, that's this chart. This is, all right, well, this is a chart that I made up of the United States for July 4th. At sunset time. Now, the problem I'm having with this is that July 4th is actually when it was published, but the actual signing was on July 2nd, and then the actual Constitution didn't happen until 1787. So it's like, what chart do you do? So we're just doing the sunset chart because no one was moving fast July 2nd or July 4th in 1776 to get to a paper signing. They probably had a big meal afterwards. So they probably got there when it got cooler. Okay, so here in this chart we have, we have the ascendant of Sagittarius, and Venus, Jupiter, Sun, and Mercury are all in the 7th house of the United States with the North Node in the 8th house. So with Sagittarius rising, it's ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter's in the 7th house in Gemini. So here we are. We're always trying to be the savior and the idealistic know-it-all, putting our spiritual beliefs out onto the rest of the world. No better example than what's happening right now in the United States, for lack of a better way. Now, the North Node is transiting the 7th house right now, so we're really in this big ego cycle of our own power tripping as a country upon the planet. And the South Node is in the 1st house with Pluto and Saturn, but now this is the election time on the outside, is the election time out here. So on November 3rd, 2020, which is the day of the election, a Jupiter is going to be here with not with the South Node. The South Node will already be at 25 degrees Taurus, so it will have just gotten out of the Gandant area. Back over here, ketu, from Sagittarius to Scorpio. Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, there's going to be a lot of arm wrestling during this election. And I'll tell you what, people better get feisty about it. They need to feel excited. They need to feel like there's a chance to make a difference. And I want to encourage everybody to go out and vote. So I just want to show you that during the election, Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter are going to all be opposite, all the stuff in the 7th house. So Mercury, Sun, Jupiter, and Venus. And then there's a Jupiter opposition, Pluto opposite all those planets, and then Saturn opposite all those planets. We really need to get disciplined as a country to care and not cave in to the crying toddler, that the fanatical energy that will be here during the election. People have to be clear and profoundly spiritual and insightful and willing to do the hard questions to ask them, what do they believe in? What are their value systems? What's their philosophy? Do they believe, are they pro-life? Well, then they better get on being for life that's on the planet as it exists right now. So we need to do some fiercely spiritual changes we really need to go through a makeover. The U.S. needs a makeover during this next election. Okay, so then the other one I had was, now I have Donald Trump up here. Okay, here's the election for him. What's happening for him during the election? He's having a North Node return, everyone. So South Node is coming back to his moon and Saturn, and his ketu here, and the North Node will be transiting his thing in the 10th house. He is really going to give it his all to win this election. And it's going to be up to everybody to make him very disappointed. Here we go. Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn. We need to make him very disappointed as a country. Saturn, opposite Saturn. Look at that. He's having a Saturn opposite Venus. Obviously, I mean, his marriage must be under a tremendous strain. Tremendous. And he's isolated himself from the group. Here's the Saturn opposition from his 11th house to the 5th house. I mean, he is wringing out the last bit of water out of that sponge. Mars in the 8th house. That's not very good for him. That creates a lot of problems. Could be accident prone at that time. Also with Saturn coming up into the 6th house and Mars in the 8th house, he could have some health issues that come up or something sudden and violent happening. But I will say that the South Node return on the moon and the North Node, I mean, it's like there's a lot of luck and karma involved here with Donald Trump's chart for the election. And, you know, as a person who does not celebrate our president and his policies, I find this aspect very disturbing. It really could mean that it's sort of fated. But perhaps not. I mean, I don't think they've got the election rigging 100% together. Maybe they do. His emotional well-being is, I mean, moon with the South Node. And then having the South Node return here, emphasizing again how drained he feels. I don't know if he can, like, you know, his intuition is finely tuned, but that also could be he's feeling very drained. Certainly very drained in his relationship. And the North Node transiting up here has been on his Sun and his Uranus, you know, he is feeling very plugged in. Isn't it too bad that he doesn't use this energy to harness the great potential for all of humanity to live in peace and in betterment? This is what we want. We want Donald Trump to wake up, dude. Wake up. Wake up. You're going to be dead in a couple of years. Let's see, when Saturn goes into your 8th house. 2, 4, hey, 6 years, you're gone. Okay? Saturn goes through the 8th house there. 6 years, you're gone, Mr. Trump. What are you going to do to make this earth a better place? We need to communicate, everybody. We need to remind ourselves what our greatest ideals are and go out there and make a difference in the world. Oh, that's what he needs to do. Right, let's go back to the chart here. Okay, here's the new moon again for September. Reiterating September. A high ego energy time, feeling very frustrated. You need to focus on nourishing your heart and nourishing the hearts of others, trying to figure out how to make money on it, being creative, being very leading edge, creative with the math, with the science, with the physics, everything. Bringing it down, grounding it, making it, doing it. Get off the phone, do something. Feeding the energy. Go out, feed the homeless. Just don't feed your ego. Don't go buy a more expensive car. Put a kid into a better school. Buy them clothes. Buy them a computer. Learn how to give with your heart. Take that frustrated energy and go down to a charity and do some contact work with people. I mean, Neptune here is opposite Aquarius with Leo. Opposite right here. I don't know what to say for the planet, everyone. We all really need to wake up and be our best father, be the best creative inventor, whether it's how to clean the house better or have more fun. This new moon in Regulus with, let's see, about the Magha Nakshatra. I don't know all of the things 100%. Wow, there's like nothing there on that one. Anyway, let's see what it has on this one. It is ruled by ketu, so ketu is going to have a lot more energy. It's the royal court of the royal throne. Comprises supreme shades, beauty, affluence, potency, intellect, respect, dignity, wisdom, which takes the arena to the supreme most in the highest mount of the rest of its life. Pure souls, strong enough to slay their enemies, but are not sinners and are generous with a humanitarian heart. So everyone, go out there and be a generous humanitarian with this energy this month. Turn the frustration into action and have a lot of great sex. Love the people you love and take it easy. Aloha.